Welcome back, everyone. We're diving into something pretty cool today, all about feeling good and happy.
Yeah, this should be fun.
You know how we've been exploring the connection between, like, happiness and choosing your mental, what they call frequency.
Right.
So we found this article in Rich Woman magazine. It's by Dr. Marina Nani,
Okay.
and it's called, hold on, Feeling Good and Happy, What Frequency Uplifts You When Driving Out of Range.
Ooh, I like it.
Right. It's published back in November.
Yeah.
And it really got us thinking, like, can we actually choose our thoughts and the environments that we're in to actually boost our well-being?
It's a great question. And Dr. Nani, she starts off by, taking us on a little journey. So picture this, right? You're driving through the English countryside.
Ooh, nice.
It's a crisp autumn day.
Love it.
Those trees are just like bursting with color,
Yeah.
You just feel this sense of freedom like in the air.
Yeah.
You got your favorite classical music playing,
Yeah.
and everything just feels perfect.
Oh, that sounds so idyllic.
Right. But then, as it happens, sometimes in life, things, they take an unexpected turn,
Uh-oh.
right? So the radio signal, it starts to fade,
Oh.
and you start getting these other stations, like, trying to, like, push through.
The worst.
Yeah, just totally interrupting that peaceful vibe you had going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate when that happens.
And that's when Dr. Nani has this, like, light bulb moment,
Okay.
She realizes that this whole experience, it was kind of mirroring, like, how self-doubt can creep in,
Uh-huh.
or those negative thoughts that just intrude on your mental peace. It's almost like those unwanted radio frequencies.
Interesting.
So she's like, wait, is there a way to tune our minds to a more positive frequency?
Mm-hmm.
Just like we would adjust the dial on a radio.
Okay, I am hooked.
All right.
But before we get too far, can we define mental frequency?
Yeah.
As it sounds a little woo-woo, even though I kind of get what she's saying.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, it's definitely a metaphor.
Okay.
But there's actually, like, some real science behind it.
Right.
So Dr. Nani, she connects it to our self-perception. So, like, how we see ourselves, and our potential.
Gotcha.
And she cites all these studies that show that people who, like, actively choose to have positive thoughts, they tend to experience way more well-being,
Okay.
and they're more resilient to stress.
So it's not just about feeling good. It's about how our thoughts actually, like, impact our ability to, like, get through life's challenges, basically.
Okay. It's like training our minds,
Yeah.
to focus on all the positive stuff. And that actually strengthens our ability to then cope with, all the stress and adversity that we face.
That makes sense.
And this isn't just some feel-good theory either, like the World Happiness Report.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They actually back this up. One of their key findings is that people who practice positive self-regulation,
Right.
meaning they consciously manage their emotions, those people tend to have way lower levels of anxiety, they have better moods, and just overall, like, stronger mental health.
Okay. I'm starting to see how this all ties together. It's like choosing to focus on the good stuff actually rewires our brains to be more resilient,
Yeah, exactly.
which then makes us happier and, gives us a greater sense of well-being overall.
Exactly. And the really fascinating thing is that there's a whole bunch of research that dives even deeper into, like, the mechanics of how this works,
Okay.
So Dr. Nani, she introduces this idea of emotional resonance, which basically suggests that, we can turn into specific emotional frequencies.
So just like a radio can pick up all these different stations, we can kind of tune our minds to different emotional states.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
Like, think of it this way. When you, like, cultivate positive emotions like gratitude or optimism, you're basically strengthening your ability to resonate with those frequencies. And the research actually shows that this makes you more resilient to stress. So you're essentially building up your mental immune system,
That's a powerful image. So instead of being, like, at the mercy of whatever thoughts pop up or emotions,
Right.
we can actually choose to cultivate those positive feelings
Hmm.
and then over time become more resilient to, like, the negative stuff.
You got it.
Wow.
It's about making that conscious effort to shift your mental state.
Yeah.
Like Dr. Nani even uses this example of self-compassion. So, like, treating yourself with kindness and understanding.
Right.
It's like tuning into a frequency of self-love. And
Wow.
that can do wonders for your anxiety and your self-esteem.
Oh, that's great. I love that. Okay. This is all starting to click for me, but got to be honest. Like, I still struggle with negative self-talk sometimes.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
So how do we, like, actually put this into practice?
Right.
It can't be as easy as just, like, changing the station on the radio, can it?
Well, it definitely takes effort and practice.
Okay.
Remember Dr. Nani's analogy about driving and losing the radio signal?
Yeah.
She didn't just automatically tune into a better station. She actually, like, turned the radio off
Oh.
and just, like, sat with the silence for a bit.
So taking a break from all the noise is an important part of the process.
Absolutely. Like, sometimes we just need to disconnect
Yeah.
from all the stuff that's, like, feeding our negativity.
Yeah.
Whether it's, social media or the news
Yeah.
or even, like, certain people in our lives.
Oh, yeah.
And just, like, allow ourselves some space.
Mental space.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. It's like hitting the reset button, so to speak,
Yeah, exactly.
on our mental state so we can then tune into something more positive.
Exactly. And that's where the conscious choice part comes in.
Okay.
So once you've created that space,
Right.
you can start to be more intentional about what you let back in
Okay.
to your mental environment.
Gotcha.
So Dr. Nani, she talks about, like, surrounding yourself with positive influences.
Like what?
The people you hang out with,
Right.
the stuff you read, the places you go to.
So it's not just about our thoughts. It's like making choices that actually support our well-being
Yeah.
on a much larger level.
Right. It's about, like, curating your life to, promote all that good stuff
Yeah.
and help you maintain that higher frequency.
I'm starting to see how this is more than just like a quick fix. It's really a lifestyle shift, isn't it?
It is.
Okay.
It's about those small, consistent choices that, like, add up over time.
Give me an example.
Okay, so instead of, like, beating yourself up over a mistake,
Uh-huh.
you could, practice self-compassion and remind yourself that, hey, everybody makes mistakes.
Right.
Or instead of, like, mindlessly scrolling through social media and comparing yourself to others,
Yeah.
you choose to spend that time doing something you love.
Oh, okay.
That brings you joy.
So it's about replacing, like, those negative habits and thought patterns with more positive ones.
Exactly.
Okay.
And remember, it's not about being perfect, right? We all have bad days
Okay.
and negative thoughts. The key is to, like, recognize those moments
Okay.
and make the conscious choice to shift your focus.
Got it.
And Dr. Nani, she reminds us that we have, like, tools to help us do this.
Oh, okay. Like what?
Like listening to music.
Oh, right.
We talked about that earlier.
Yeah. Certain types of music can, like, totally shift our mental state
Mm-hmm.
and induce calm and creativity.
Yes.
What about other tools?
Oh, there are so many. Meditation is, like, a fantastic way to train your mind,
Okay.
to focus on the present moment and cultivate that sense of peace.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. Spending time in nature,
Love it.
been proven to, like, reduce stress and boost your mood.
For sure.
Practicing gratitude.
Okay.
So, like, taking time each day to just appreciate the good things in your life.
Right.
That's another powerful tool.
I like it.
And then, of course, like, engaging in activities you love.
Yeah.
Whether it's painting, dancing, playing sports, anything that brings you joy.
Yeah, for sure.
That can do wonders for your mental frequency.
Wow. You've given us so much to think about. It's like building a toolkit for happiness. Like, it's amazing how much power we have over our well-being when we start to see it this way.
It is empowering, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the more we understand, like, the science behind it,
Uh-huh.
the more motivated we become to make those positive choices.
Like, instead of feeling like we're, like, at the mercy of our emotions,
Right?
we can start to see ourselves as the conductors of our own mental symphony.
Oh, I love that.
We get to choose the music that plays in our minds.
So true.
Right.
And this brings us back to Dr. Nani's point about self-perception.
Okay.
She really emphasizes how much our beliefs about ourselves
Yeah.
really impact our overall well-being.
So if we see ourselves as capable and resilient and worthy of happiness,
Yeah.
we're more likely to actually experience those things.
Yeah.
It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Exactly. Like, our thoughts create our reality.
Wow.
So if we're constantly telling ourselves these, like, negative stories about who we are and what we're capable of,
Yeah.
we're basically setting ourselves up for unhappiness.
Oh, wow.
But if we can shift those stories to be more positive and empowering,
Okay.
it's like we're rewriting the script of our lives.
That's such an inspiring thought. So how can we, like, cultivate a more positive self-perception?
It starts with awareness.
Okay.
Like, pay attention to the stories that you're telling yourself about, who you are and what you're capable of.
Right.
And then ask yourself, are they serving you or are they holding you back?
Hmm.
And once you've like identified the negative self-talk,
Okay.
you can start to challenge it.
So, like, question those negative thoughts and
Mhm.
replace them with more positive affirmations.
Exactly. Like remind yourself of your strengths, celebrate your accomplishments,
Right.
and practice self-compassion.
Okay.
And don't be afraid to like seek support from others, whether that's a therapist, a coach, a supportive friend.
Yeah.
It takes time and effort, to rewire those neural pathways,
Yeah.
but it's so worth it.
It's like we're retraining our brains to see ourselves in a more positive light.
Exactly.
This is so cool how, like, our self-perception is such a powerful thing in shaping our reality.
Yeah.
But before we go too deep into that, I want to, like, circle back to Dr. Nani's radio analogy.
Okay.
She kind of brings it full circle near the end of the article, and it, like, ties everything together.
It's a great analogy.
It is.
For this whole idea of mental frequency. It really is. It's like, just as we can change the station when we're driving out of range of our favorite station,
Right.
we can also adjust our mental like dial
Mm.
when we're faced with all that negative stuff.
Yeah. Or challenging situations.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like a reminder that we actually have more control than we think.
Mhm.
We don't have to let those negative frequencies like totally dominate our headspace.
Totally. And Dr. Nani, she makes it clear that this isn't about like denying or suppressing those tough emotions.
Right?
It's about recognizing that we actually have a choice
Right.
in how we respond.
So we can either get caught up in all that static,
Uh-huh.
or we can choose to find a clearer signal.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that. So even when, like, life throws us curveballs,
Yeah.
we can still choose to tune into, like, a more positive frequency.
Exactly. And you know what? The more we practice this, like, this conscious self-regulation,
Yeah.
the easier it gets. Like, Dr. Nani even explains that this whole process actually strengthens our prefrontal cortex.
Oh, wow. And remind me what that is again.
That's the part of our brain that's like responsible for decision making
Gotcha.
and all those executive functions.
So it's like we're building our mental muscle. The more we practice, the better we get at, like, recognizing those negative thought patterns
Yeah.
and consciously shifting our focus.
Exactly.
This is pretty cool. I love this idea that we're not just, like, passively receiving whatever thoughts come our way.
Right.
Like, we can actively shape our mental landscape.
Absolutely. And just to like recap Dr. Nani's main takeaways.
Yes, please.
There are 3 main things we can do to like stay on our own frequency.
Okay.
So first, focus on those positive thoughts. Challenge the negative self-talk and replace it with like more empowering beliefs.
Got it. What's number 2?
Number 2 is surrounding yourself with, that positive environment. Be mindful of the people you're with, the information you're taking in, and even the places you go.
Makes sense. And last but not least.
Use tools like music
Oh, right.
to help you shift your mental state and create that sense of calm and well-being.
These are all such actionable steps we can take to, like, cultivate greater happiness and resilience in our lives. It's about making those choices that really align with our values and our vision for ourselves.
Absolutely. And it's important to remember that like this isn't about being perfect.
Right.
We're all going to have those negative thoughts and emotions.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's about progress, not perfection.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
This has been, like, such a mind-opening conversation. Dr. Nani's article, I mean, it really gave us a new perspective
It did.
on how we can actually take control of our own well-being.
I totally agree. It's a powerful reminder that happiness isn't something that just happens to us.
Right?
It's something we can like cultivate
Yeah.
through our choices and our mindset.
And as we wrap up today, I want to leave you with the question that Dr. Nani poses at the end of her article.
Mm.
If your mind was a radio, what station would you be tuned to right now?
What steps can you take to adjust the dial and find a more uplifting frequency?
We hope this deep dive has given you, some food for thought and some tools that you can use to, enhance your own journey toward feeling good and happy.
Absolutely. Until next time, keep exploring, keep choosing, and keep tuning in to the frequencies that bring you joy.